Daniel Cormier versus Jon Jones 2. Let's get right into this one. One loss apiece. Of course, Daniel Cormier's lost to Jon Jones in their first fight. Jon Jones' only loss, vindicated from a disqualification from a 12-6 elbow in which he destroyed Matt Hamill. Lots happened, of course, since these two got in the octagon last. Jon Jones has hit a pregnant lady with a DUI, had some marijuana and cash in the car, suspended for drugs, #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, going through all sorts of self-inflicted burdens. He's a blessed fighter. He's blessed with skills that we've never seen before. I don't know if we've ever seen them before. And if we've ever seen them before, we have not seen them at such a young age. Demetrius Johnson's a very good fighter. Anderson Silva was great in his prime, but he had some stumbling blocks along the way. Jon Jones had no stumbling blocks except for the ones that he made for himself. Very similar to Mike Tyson. These guys are just very similar in my mind. I believe if Jon Jones grew up the way Mike Tyson was, it would be almost a mirror image of their lives. DC has kind of been the good guy, the world-class wrestler, Strikeforce champion, very dominant in every fight until he fought Jon Jones. I don't think there was anybody really close to him except for the Gustafsson fight, which they were both close on the Gustafsson fight, and that, of course, is one of their like opponents, but all that kind of goes out the window now because they've already fought once. And I don't think Daniel Cormier was ready for the head games that Jon Jones was going to bring at him. I don't know how much that affected him that night because he definitely had a good showing against Jon Jones, but it was Jon Jones. And Jon Jones thrives on the mind games. Jon Jones thrives on getting in somebody's head. I think it makes him better to brag about himself and talk about himself in the ring and do all these crazy, unorthodox things. And that's just part of Jon Jones and what makes him a fighter. He has incredible fight IQ. By the third round on most fighters, he knows what that fighter's going to do before they know it. He's a computer. He's a human fighting computer. And he will learn your strategy and he will use it against you. DC is one of the greatest fighters in light heavyweight history. Maybe second to Jon Jones. He's really up there. His wrestling is probably second to Jon Jones. His wrestling is superior. He took down Josh Barnett several times. I mean, he dominated Josh Barnett, and I did not think he was going to win that fight when they were back in Strikeforce. And he won that tournament, and he beat Josh Barnett easily. And even I was shocked. I was like, this dude is for real. Now, there's a couple things I got to think about going into this fight. Obviously, Jon Jones' mental state, being suspended for a year, being in jail, having the media attack him. The guy's just lived a tumultuous couple of years for sure. Coming back against Ovince St. Preux the last time he tried to come back after a layoff, he looked flat, he looked lackluster. He was never in danger of losing that fight, but he certainly didn't look impressive. DC has looked impressive. He looks like he wants to win every fight when he goes into that octagon. As much as Jon Jones wants to cement his legacy, I think DC wants to beat Jon Jones more. I think DC wants this more. I think that a lot of those mental head games and that nervousness going into the ring, it's not going to be the same. He's got the confidence. He's got that belt. He's going to walk down there with that belt, and he beat a lot of good people to get it. He might not have beaten Jon Jones, but he understands, and he called him out that what Jon Jones self-inflicted to himself was the loss of a championship, whether it was in the octagon or out of the octagon. DC did the things that he needed to do outside the octagon to be a respectable fighter and to keep himself licensed And the things that Jon Jones did, DC can't control what he does outside of the ring. But I guarantee you DC wants to destroy Jon Jones on Saturday night. I think he's going to go in with a ruthless game plan. I would slightly favor DC. The one issue is DC is older, and you never know when fighters get around 38, 39 when they're going to age overnight. But DC shows no signs of slowing down. He just keeps getting better in my mind. Physically and mentally, definitely. The mental mind games with Jon Jones have made him so much stronger. He's not intimidated by Jon Jones anymore. I mean, he wants to punch him in the face. He wants to take him down. But I think both of these guys, as much as they seem to not have their emotions under control at press conferences, have their emotions in control in the octagon on a super high level, a higher level than almost anybody in the UFC. So I expect a great fight. My guess would be I kind of lean towards DC. I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see this fight go either way. But if I had to bet on it, I would go with DC just because of Jon Jones' layoff, the mental hurdles that Daniel Cormier's overcame since the first time that they fought, and I just think he wants it more. Both of these guys, it's going to be very lucrative, obviously, if Daniel Cormier wins this, because it's going to set up a trilogy match. Does that mean Jon Jones doesn't want it? Of course he wants it. He's got a huge ego. He wants to be the greatest of all time, and he wants to go down undefeated, which he basically is the one blemish on his career from disqualification, was a fight that he had just ended. That was not even a competitive fight and should never been a loss. It should have been a no contest. Anyways, Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones, you're going to get your money's worth tonight. UFC 214 Saturday, July 29th, 2017. I'm a little late on this. Order this on pay-per-view or go to a bar or buy you. Watch it with some friends. It's really fun to watch with a bunch of fight fans inside like a really cool restaurant or bar. UFC has links that you can find bars near you, or Google if you live in a decent-sized city or by a decent-sized city. You can probably find a bar or a restaurant to watch it, and the funnest thing for me to watch it is not to watch it alone, but to watch it with a ton of friends. And if I don't know somebody getting the fight or I don't have people coming over, I definitely want to go to a restaurant or bar for these big fights that everybody gets up for, and you can feel the electricity in the room. It's so exciting. I'm so looking forward to this fight. I think DC is going to keep that championship belt. He's won me over in the last year. I used to be a huge Jon Jones fan. I still like Jon Jones, but DC, he's been a great human being. He's gained character. He's disciplined. It's just going to be one hell of a fight, guys. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you like what I do here. I do UFC previews, but I also do a lot of other things. I do a lot of breaking news, and I do a lot of parody news. So Mike Reviews It All here. Please like and subscribe here and give me your comments down below, because I really want to know what you think about this fight, the fans, and enjoy the fight and have a great week.